TikTok trend deemed as bed rotting has raised some concerns from mental health experts.
Younger generations are really embracing this concept of soft living and being able to live a more stress-free life.
When you do literally nothing but laying in bed, it's the end of optimization. It's anti-productivity.
Experts say it's okay to have a lazy day, but people should incorporate other activities too, like hanging out with friends and family. They warn that being inactive for a long time could be a more serious mental health concern, and people should talk to a doctor if it happens often.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the new TikTok trend. So I've been scrolling around to find some things to talk about today, trying to find some topics. But anyways, the new trend right now is to do what's called bed rotting. And apparently this is where you go to, how do I explain this? You basically spend your whole day on your bed and you relax there and pretty much everything you need to do throughout the day. So like if you need to eat, if you spend all your day on your phone, if you watch stuff, you basically just do it all in your bed. You basically sleep on your bed, you're laying on your bed, you're sitting up on your bed, you're eating, drinking, farting, like you're shitting all over the bed, and you don't do anything else. Now, I thought this was going to be a thing where the people in the comments section would kind of cringe and be like, why would you do this? But as far as I've been able to see with a bunch of TikTokers videos, the comment section seems to be in agreement. And there are even some people joking around saying, oh, I did this before it was a trend. I've been doing this since the pandemic or since before the pandemic or this needs to be my job or I'm so happy I'm not alone in doing this. And from looking at it at a glance, I could definitely understand the appeal of it, especially since COVID. I mean, I'm pretty sure the most of us are just wiped out. We're just all tired from this chaotic schedule we've been working. And depending on what you did during the pandemic, I mean, it affects you in a lot of different ways. But regardless of that, well, I do think that de-stressing is a good thing to do. And, you know, sometimes you need to just get away from it all. You can also see how this can very easily get out of hand. And then people use it as a way to just be sedentary, you know, just be like there, but not all the way there, if you know what I'm saying. It's not a bad idea. And sometimes you're just sick. Like sometimes you just have to stay in bed all day. Sometimes the only thing you can do is get up, drink a glass of water, go to the bathroom, eat something, your family makes you something, go back to bed, and you don't even have time to scroll on your phone. I get that, right? Everyone has to take a break now and then. But I'm not so sure that staying in your bed or doing everything in your bed is such a good idea. And actually, I didn't know there was a name for this up until now, but I actually do have some experience with doing what's called this bed rotting thing. Such a horrible name. They need to get a new name for that because it doesn't even sound appealing, even if you agree with it, right? Even if you agree with being like just a lazy fuck, right? Like really bed rotting, you need to get a better name. But regardless, I'm not so sure that if you have mental problems or if you're going through depression or if you need a mental health day, that staying most of the time in your bed is a good idea. Particularly because, number one, for me, I have this kind of anxious anxiety where I fear that I'm not going to get everything that I need to get done in a whole day. Like a whole day's work, I'm not going to get it done. If I need to get groceries, if I need to go fill up the car, if I need to do my chores, you know, and that's even before I think of ideas to do a video, and then I have to also go to the gym because I have to work on myself physically, right? All that stuff, I'm pretty anxious about getting work done. Lately though, as I've gotten more accustomed to a routine, it's more easier, so that anxiety is going away slowly. But for me, especially if I feel like I need to take a nap, I'll wake up, it'll be 5 o'clock when I take a nap, and when I wake up it's 7 o'clock, and then I'll be like, dang, I wasted so much time. For me personally, I don't see that this is a good idea because I feel like there's so much things to get done that you can't really enjoy that feeling of like, oh, I get to relax and not care about something. I just need to lay down and just stay here. I can't do that. I honestly can't do that. I move around way too much, and you know, as a big guy, I don't I don't want to be limited to just the bed, even if I am hogging the bed for myself. I don't know. It may be a thing that was reinforced as a kid to where I really couldn't sit still on my bed while I was at home because my mom would usually tell me, hey, there's something you need to do, like either chores or homework or whatever. And back then it was like, I dreaded. I was so anxious just sitting still because at any moment when I could hear the footsteps walking past my door, I was reminded of the fact that, oh, my mom could be coming in here any second to remind me, hey, you need to do your chores. Hey, you gotta do something. And I never could quite enjoy myself, just enjoy being on my bed. And beyond that, I definitely have this thought in my head that even if I do take a break, right, and just let time fly, I usually by the end of it don't feel refreshed. I don't think that it was a worthwhile endeavor, because by the time it gets to be 8, 9, 10 o'clock and I haven't done the things I have to do or the things I wanted to do, I'm like, shit, well, I thought this was gonna help, and it didn't help me. Like, I did really kind of have all the time I needed to. I mean, a prime example of that is the media that we use: YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, Spotify, all those apps. We use social media and we can get so lost in it that we lose track of time and we forget the fact that we just wasted an hour and a half just looking at our screen. Our generation, Gen Z, I don't want to be a downer, I don't want to be a boomer about it either, but I do feel like our generation does certainly have it easier in some ways than we do have it in others. And not to be that guy, but I feel like we just spend so much time glued to our screens or just glued to what's going on in the world that by the time we get back to the real world or back to our regular lives, it's like we wasted all this time and it's time to go back to bed, and we just repeat this cycle. Definitely a hard thing to say for sure, but I was watching this Neil deGrasse Tyson video in which he was kind of talking about dogs, and I'll show a clip here real quick.
Those who own dogs, you know that every time you come back from wherever you went, the dog is happy and it's jumpy and it wants to lick you in the face. Even if you just went to get mail from the mailbox, delight in your return. If you want to take them out for a car ride, they are the first in the car. They don't care where it's going, but they're going somewhere. They're some of the most joyous creatures that live among us. Every single day a dog lives is equivalent to a week of your life. If they only get one day for every week you're alive, they make every day count.
But basically, in the clip, he was talking about how, dogs, in comparison to a person's life, what inspires him to take advantage of every day is the fact that, how they are excited to do basically everything. If they're going out to get water, if you're going out to run an errand, they're always excited to see you when you come home. And when you take them on a car ride, they're the first ones to run inside and jump inside the seat on the car. And not to say that we're all dogs, obviously I know we're not dogs. And I don't want to say that we ought to be more like dogs, but I just definitely think that there is an observation to be made there, is that, well, if animals like that are so happy and so unaware of their lives like that, and in comparison to how much more of a lifespan we have compared to a dog, even if the dog isn't aware of the fact that it's one day for them or one day for us is like a week to them, even if they're not aware of that, to me, it seems like it's kind of motivational in that we ought to be more happy and joyful in trying to improve ourselves and trying to do something new. Trying to do something uncomfortable. Honestly, I wasn't really used to speaking like this, and even still, months later, after making these videos, I still got a lot to learn, and I'm definitely need more work to be confident. But there is something to be said about the idea that just how much enjoyment or rest can you get from being on your bed all day, as opposed to taking some time to do something that would better yourself, whether it's a hobby or whether it's your duties, whether it's something you like to do or whether it's something you need to do. There's definitely a conversation to be had about that, and I don't know, you guys can let me know down below what you think about this. But for me personally, there's a give and take, but in my opinion, bed rotting, there's definitely a point when you reach diminishing returns, meaning that it's like you've been there on the bed for so long not doing anything that it all of a sudden does become worthless to be there. It's pointless. You do end up wasting a lot of time being on your bed, even if you're not on the bed, right? Even if you're on the couch doing something, there's certainly more you can just do than just stay in your bed. Obviously, it's hot, it's summer, so what more can you do? But how long can you stay outside without burning into a crisp or getting dehydrated and freaking dying out there? But I definitely do think that this should be something to be used sparingly, and I mean very rarely. If you gotta have those days where dude, I just don't know what to do and I just need to lay and think about something, that's fine. But generally speaking, I think we would all do better to try to get out there and try to do something new. Even if you're not that interested in it, you know, even if you don't think you're gonna accomplish much, definitely what I've been doing more lately is try to wear clothes like I'm going somewhere, even though I don't have plans to go somewhere, just in case something does pop up or an opportunity pops up. You know, I'm not rushing to be like, oh, well, I was gonna be here, like, you know, I can be like, sure, and then within 5, 15, 10 minutes I'm ready to go, you know. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for 15 subscribers. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I do want to thank you all for watching my videos. Sorry, I'm recording this when we shouldn't be awake, so hypocrite. I'm talking about things we shouldn't do while I'm doing something we shouldn't do. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.